Great. So thank you for that. So we want to move on to our next speaker, and that's Han van Doorn. Han, as I mentioned, was the winner of our Silver Starters program in 2019, and is the co-founder of an application called Are You OK Today, that he will tell us a little bit about. But after a long career with IBM, he's had a very successful career as an entrepreneur, and look forward to hearing Han's experience to date in terms of his entrepreneurial journey. So I hand it over to you, Han. You're on mute.
I will try to give a few answers to the why of Mary. Tomorrow, it is exactly 85 years ago that I was born in Amsterdam. And I was caregiver for my wife with dementia for 5 years. And that was one of the triggers of my innovative project. I like to share with you in 10 minutes 5 items. My motivation to start a business, starting with my own problem, a gift from heaven, my 5 advantages of senior entrepreneurship and the pitfalls, why I did put on my entrepreneur shoes, and what is the ideal age to retire, in my opinion. The motivation started with my own problem. Pretend. I fell down the stairs. How long will it take before somebody finds me? I've seen that with my sister-in-law. I called her and she did not answer the phone. I went to her house, opened the front door, and there were papers of 3 days behind the door. We get regularly our papers delivered at the door. I will not tell you what I saw. My son Matthew called me regularly with the question, how are you chickens? And what is with your vegetable garden? He is not at all interested in that. He is worried about his old father. So we both had a problem. What do you do if you have a problem? You put your requirements on the table. Matthew wanted an app with a traffic light, and when the traffic light is right, is green, then it is okay with me. And I do not want to do any, I want nothing at all. Nothing around my wrist, out my neck, no sensors, no cameras, absolutely nothing. But I need 100% privacy. After 3 months, we find a solution for both our problems. And we have tested that in 100 locations for 3 weeks. I hear your question, how does that work? I use regularly electricity, boiling water, preparing coffee. I have made a self-learning system that learns the pattern of the electricity consumption of each individual device in my home. And when the system detects a deviation, then he does not call Matthew because then my privacy is gone. The system will call me. And when I do not pick up the phone, then there is something wrong. And then Matthew gets a notification and the traffic light in the app changes from green into orange. And when it takes longer, it became red. This free app, Are You OK Today, has changed my life. I feel safe in my own home again. After that pilot test, I fell in a big hole because I get so many responses on this system that we invented. that I have now a database with 1,500 people who like to join, but I had no idea how to start a business. As a gift from heaven, I learned about the Silver Started course. And that Silver Starter course is 7 weeks, 2 days a week, and mainly online. And that really helped me to launch and get Are You Okay Today to the market. I learned a lot of things on that course. Maar let me tell you 3 things especially that I learned. During that course, I felt in love. There's nothing wrong with that, but I felt in love with the wrong one, which is even worse. I felt in love with my self-learning system that I have designed, but I learned that I have to focus on the problem, on the problems of the caregivers, on the problems of the elderly. So focus on the problem. The second thing that I learned is in one picture, give all the aspects of the business model. So I ended up with a piece of paper with my whole business on it, which was very nice. And the last thing that I was very proud of, that I had to make a mission statement. And I invented a mission statement, connect generations to support independent living. And I was very proud of that. I put it on the wall, you cannot see it, but I was very happy with it. During all these few years that I worked on it, I found 5 very specific advantages of senior entrepreneurship. The first one, my age and my vitality, together with my innovative project, is a unique selling point which makes it very easy to attract publicity and get emails, covering even 4 continents. The second thing is that in the past, I would come up, never could put up with this idea. And I learned that with younger entrepreneurs. They told me, if you have a problem, if you are afraid falling down, you can put a button around your shirt. I don't want a button. You can put it around. He don't understand. I do, because I'm a senior. Because I solved my own problem, I found out that people even easier believe me. The fourth thing is, I have a lot of experience now, and that allow me to avoid many pitfalls. And the last one, I have learned as octogenarian that it is easier to grow old vitally if you have a purpose in life, if you know why you are coming out of your bed in the morning. There are, of course, pitfalls, and I did not fall in that, but the pitfalls of senior entrepreneurship could be that you spend too much time to other things, or that you take too much risk, that you lost your savings, or that you get health issues. Why did I put on my entrepreneur shoes? To further develop and market my idea. And as a boy, I went already to the stamp market to sell my collected stamps. I feel useful because I make a contribution to the community. And very important, It is a lot of fun. It is also an advantage that it is a low risk due to my basic income. And I started my new company, and that feels as a lot of positive energy I get out of that, because I can use my talents and learn how to become an entrepreneur. It is one of the best decisions I ever did. I like to finish by telling you that I regularly read articles about enjoying yourself after retirement. After retirement? It looks like everybody is working in a panel camp. I think that is nonsense. You just have to keep busy after you retire. Staying active is the best remedy for a good functioning immune system. Neil Young sung it all the time. It's better to burn than rust, because rusting never sleeps. In Japan, people often work longer after retirement because old age benefits are poor. It is Japan where people are oldest on average. And now my question, what is the ideal age to retire? The answer is never. Retire is a dirty word. It should be refire. Thank you.
You are an inspiration as ever. And I think you answered one of the questions I saw coming along here, in terms of there was people asking questions or having a discussion in the chat about what defines a successful company. And when you said making a contribution to the community, that definitely, I think, would be a definition of success and a really good measure of success, as well as the financial aspects, which I think is possibly the traditional way most people might measure success.
May I ask
Absolutely.
another thing? When I go to a birthday party, for instance, and I do not know much people, and you start talking, that within a minute, they ask, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And if you are retired, yeah, I have chickens. Oh, chickens. I have a vegetable. No, they don't interested in that. But if you say I have a business, what kind of business do you? They are interested. That's not.
I couldn't agree with you more. I think that's a huge difference, and we need to move on. Get sidetracked. That's a hugely important event that happens when people retire. People start defining themselves in the past tense. When they ask people who you are, what you're doing, they say, "I was an engineer. I was a teacher." And if you own a business, if you are an entrepreneur, you're defining yourself in the present. And defining yourself in the present and having an eye on the future is what's going to keep you going and vital for the future. I think that the tense we use to define ourselves is so important.